Be watchful of people who only want to befriend you because of what you do. You will run the risk of losing your integrity for exposing yourself to somebody who was not made for that exposure. And let me be clear, it is good to have fans because what it shows is that you have a good name. But it is dangerous to try to use that good name to create friends who were never supposed to be friends from the beginning. They here for the ride until the roads start getting bumpy. They offer the struggle till the money getting funny.
Bye-bye.
Walking on the journey till they feet start getting tired. Say they down forever till they leave you, they some liars. Ready for the benefit of being in a picture. But when you was alone, they was never in the picture. Never was around when you struggled in the fourth down. But be the main ones with your name when you touch down. Don't be distracted by them. That's just their job. They was made for that. Showing that your work is effective. Reminding you to stay on track. Keep doing everything you doing, cause when you get your reward, they gonna be the proof that you took what you was given and you did something with it. Steady doing the work of Christ in the Holy Spirit. While they was busy with their sin, you was going in. Now they talk about they wanna get it in, because they're seeing wisdom all around you, and they think you're the man.
Don't be distracted by that, cause watch 'em.
But they don't really know the real you, cause when they look within,
as soon as they see the real you, watch,
they'll start to run away. So don't think they're your friends, they're just your fans. They don't hold weight.
Gotta know the difference between them.
No way.
Verse 2, talk to them.
Turn on your discernment so that you can recognize them.
Got 'em.
They are not your friends if they ain't following the Bible.
Got 'em.
Don't depend on nobody that ain't up in the truth. If they are not in Christ, then they're disposable. It's okay to have them just as long as it is understood we on different paths of life. So if we separate, then we good. You do you and I'ma do me. Sticking to my family in Christ. Stepping on the enemy while walking in the light. If it ain't of the Most High, I'm not dependent on it. Have an open mind, but I got some fences placed around it. Filtering anything that's not a higher out. I'm interested in higher knowledge, so don't ever dumb it down. Just as long as you ain't speaking wickedness, I'll kick it with you.
Alright.
I don't mind if all I can be is a fan of you, but as soon as you try to push wickedness on me, you gon' have to get behind me, Satan. Even though you're seeing wisdom all around me, and you think I'm the man,
I ain't distracted by all that.
but you don't really know the real me. Cause when you look within,
Cause as soon as I open up to you, watch,
you'll start to run away.
Bye-bye.
So don't think you're my fan, you're just my fan. You don't hold weight.
Nothing you do affects me.
No way.
No new friends, small circle around me. Christ understood that he could only cry and he could only weep around certain people because the rest of the crowd were fans and the 12 disciples were friends.
Oh boy, COE just missed another one.
Shalom, peace and blessings, family. How y'all doing, TBT family? How y'all doing today?
Shalom.
I'm your host, Ak Chop, along with our other host,
Aksham.
TBT Radio, sponsored by COEENT and Sands of the Sea, the collective.
Hope everyone is doing well on this beautiful day. If we here, we got something to be thankful for. So All praise for that. Shalom to the family that's coming in. Ask y'all to go share that thing. Go on your social medias.
Yeah.
You can text your brothers and sisters if you want to.
Tell somebody to tell somebody to
hey,
tell somebody we live.
Come, if you got family members that's, that may get something from this topic, tell them come on in. Like we were saying last week, we want to hear from you all. It's all about building.
Come on, Lee.
Yep.
So we're going to go ahead and get into that big old mission statement real quick.
All right.
We at TBT Radio Live, as the podcast radio station, aim to embrace those who are making positive movements that will take our people and all people in the right direction in all areas of life by way of entertainment, arts, spirituality, and overall entrepreneurship mindset.
So why do we continue to reiterate this? Like we were stating last week as well. This show is for not only those that are in some type of ministry or they already got something going on for them or that's known for what they do, and the listeners, like if you're an entrepreneur, you got something you're working on in the back, drop, let us know. We got a form you can fill out and possibly come through and let people know. Spread the word through the platform the Most High's giving us, and that you all are helping us build. So hey, it's all about building. So as you all see, the title for tonight's broadcast is Fanatic or Follower. Just gonna touch on these two terms. Get an understanding of them. Are they the same? Is there a difference? I know some people probably shy away from wanting to be a fan, which is short for fanatic. So we're going to see if there's a difference. Which one should we ascribe to as we continue to build this kingdom, put our bricks in, put our hands in. All right, so without further ado, I think, let's see here, man. We're gonna go with the article. I started with the article last week. We're going to do it again. But we got like 3 vids we want to show you all. So I'm going to get just a few of these paragraphs. Now this is titled The Artist and Audience Relationship. So this show is also stemming from last week. I know some of the brethren that I spoke with during the week that was interested in this topic said they may come through. So hopefully they do. If not, probably after this article we'll show the number in the pen for those that want to call in. All right?
That's right.
So I'm going to just get right into it. Now, notice this is not an artist that is in what we call the truth, quote-unquote truth. I don't even know their religious background or anything like that. But it was just an article that had some good points in it to kind of set the tone for tonight's show. Mm-hmm. All right? And as you'll see as we go through, it won't just be about musicians. You got different ways to identify this whole fanatic and follower situation. Yep. So here it goes. It says, I believe that the artist and audience relationship, starting at, for those that may be looking at it, or if you can see it, starting at the paragraph 2, it says, I believe that the artist and audience relationship is a mutual beneficial one. The artist creates something that enriches your life through enjoyment and pleasure, and you enrich the artist's life through supporting their work and providing them with appreciation, criticism, and comments. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, stemming from last week, still building on that. You still need that connection, right? So it's push-pull. Keep reading. It says, I do not, however, believe that the artist-audience relationship entitles either of us to the other's personal time, undivided attention, or physical space, and it does not constitute a friendship. So this is the artist. This is what he thinks. So for those listeners, does this kind of go against what you think the artist and audience relationship should be? Do you think it should be some level of friendship or connection on that side, right? which will draw you closer to your particular artist or the one that you may look up to as far as encouragement, right? Scroll
Right.
down right quick. You got something you want to say on that?
Nah, go ahead.
Go ahead. It says, it's a tricky thing to address as it can sound unappreciative towards fans while nothing could be further from the truth. All right? I'm a 100% independent musician, and I have spent thousands of hours of my life on emails, tweets, Facebook, YouTube, Patreon, etc., responding to as many people as I could. It doesn't feel like a chore because I love hearing your feedback. Reading messages from people whose lives have been affected in a positive way by these songs is a lovely, rewarding part of my job, and I love doing it. Mm-hmm. So, do you all get something from, being, messaged back or connected with your artist? Or even, someone that you're purchasing a product from, what they call it, customer service. Does that encourage you more when it comes to purchasing from someone?
Yeah, I know for me personally, when it comes to like I know they'll probably classify it different ways. Like, let's in the category that we in now, or direction that we in now. Artist, fan. Like me as a fan or follower. Because we'll get to the bottom of which one we are and which category we fit in by the end of this broadcast.
Yeah, because it's gonna stem to even the Bible, Christ, all that, So
exactly. So like for me personally, like just looking at where his perspective is, it's like okay, at a point in time, I did feel like okay, they should devote some time to me, or if I reach out to them, please reach out back. But in the case that they can't, because I reached out to one person, and this was in truth, like I reached out to one person and they didn't reach back out to me, and I was like, I ain't.
Is it like that?
Right, it's like that. It like we gonna be sedity like that. Right. But then I had to understand like these folk got lives and they pretty popular. They're pretty popular. So I understand it'll be like, okay, what's the word? Not flustering, but overwhelming. It can be overwhelming when you are a popular artist or you have a popular service or something like that. And a lot of people are just hitting you up just personally. Just on a personal note. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, is that something that you all would like to speak on? Right.
Hi.
Let us know. Or, like I said, you may have, never know. The person that you are interested in communicating with may be in the audience. So it says, but it doesn't make us friends and it doesn't entitle us to an extra attention or access to each other's private lives. Right.
Yeah, that's a big thing right there. As far as, cause I know a lot of people want to be real personal, but it's like I know after a while, me personally as an artist, I had to kind of separate the two, where I couldn't let everybody that came to me that liked my music be personal with me. So it was a big game changer because a lot of people that got personal with me. Now you like understand, yeah, like we still people. People have high expectations of people. I may have done something that made them like, nah, I ain't gonna listen to Chop music no more because Chop did this. I don't have that high expectation. Like have an expectation. Not saying the expectations is wrong, but not so high to where you just kind of bring. You have them almost above Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like I said, we're going to see, though. Like, at the end of it, we're going to kind of balance it out. Because when one put themselves out there, you got to be ready for the responsibility as well.
Right. True.
So, it says, I try to discourage people from forming parasocial relationships with creators because they are not real. Now, I said this is a worldly artist. Well, I'm going to say worldly artist, but it's an artist that may not be shaping his relationships based off the principles that we do, right? But all need light. So even if it's someone that may not be ascribed to what we are, hey, we're going to get some edification today. And see how far you're going with, your attractions to people or fetishes. Huh? All right.
Got a comment from Wiggin.
She says, Con, I think when the artist responds to your feedback, it encourages you to continue to listen to their music and following their journey. What we were speaking about, last week. Like, you gotta connect with the people. I think that's a big thing for social media right now as well. You see a lot of big artists, going live, chatting with the fans through chat. So it's an understanding somewhere where people is seeing the need to reach out to, the supporters. So
right,
man.
And it, like the era that we in now is like, for the art, and it's kind of laying backing on for last week as well, bringing that topic into a little bit of this week as well. The artist and audience relationship. Social media has opened that up like on a widespread range for artists to be able to communicate with the people that know and love their music, for even the people to get an insight on their lives, on their day-to-day life, and everything like that, because that's what they've been wanting, even before, like, oh, how such and such live. That's why they had like MTV Cribs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Showing you that, like I said, you get on the journey with them, seeing if they really live in what they talking about, right?
Right, exactly.
So, and that's what we eventually want to. We can't do the MTV Cribs unless we make some travels, but maybe we could, do. I know a lot of artists. Shout out to all the artists that show love and support and that's willing to work with us over at TBT. And for the entrepreneurs, still want to get down there to Georgia, to the Hebrew Homestead, right?
Yeah.
Humble servants.
Humble servant homestead.
Right. Definitely get down there and see them, man. Get some of that good eating.
Yeah.
Know how the South do it. But yeah, like really, getting the chance to see it because it's inspiration. Like that's what we're striving to do through the testimonies and making people aware of what brothers and sisters got going on. Or like I said, we even had some hometown friends come through on a previous show. They weren't quite in the truth. They were kind of listening, but like I said, it's to inspire the nation, right?
Yes, sir.
So ultimately, man, to see someone actually doing what you have a mind to do or hope to do one day, that does encourage you. So I can see what you're saying, sis. So we're going to wrap this one up, and then we're going to dive into some videos. Like I said, we want to show some things. Don't forget where we came from now. Let's not forget. And some of our people still there, but we're gonna show some things, and some of us probably intertwined with these scenarios that we're gonna show here in a second. All right, I'm gonna go back to it says because they are not real, right? And they are not healthy for either person. They put too much emotional pressure on the creator by making us feel responsible for the issues and problems of the people we do not know and have never met, right? They are also not healthy for you, the fan, because you are placing your emotions and mental well-being in the hands of someone you don't even know or who doesn't have the time or mental space in their own lives to give that amount of time, energy, and attention to a complete stranger. So
that's a pretty tough pill to swallow.
And it's across the board, like,
and that's what I was saying,
because of social media.
Yeah.
You may not feel like you're a fan of a person. I'm talking about when I say it's across the board, it's across the board, and that's why we're going into the topic, and we're gonna go into it somewhat biblically to say, okay, was this going on then? Was this something to be recognized in those times, right? Like, a lot of people just limit fan to like sports or music or things of that nature. Nah, it's across the board. and we're gonna get into it. So, without further ado, we're gonna dive into one of them right now. One the urban community should be well versed and familiar with. Yeah, big homie, Michael Jordan. All right. So they can see that, all right?
Getting over to it.
Okay. So as you can see on your screen, right? Y'all know what these is, right?
Yeah.
Them what we call them J's. Probably all of us done had some. Put if you had never bought a pair of J's, and I'm talking about either for you or your children, so you're not excluded.
Yeah.
Put a let us know if you didn't. But if you did, this one is for you. But it's not to condemn, because I know I done had plenty. But as you can see, the title of the article, it says how Air Jordan built a $3.6 billion sneaker empire. Woo! Let's get the concept of it. We're gonna roll it, and it's about 3 minutes long, so y'all bear with us. I don't think they would strike us for this, but we're gonna say this is for what educational purposes only.
Yeah.
Let's get it. You put it up right quick.
The Chicago colorway from 2013. The shoe is listed for about $1,000 on the resale market. The lowest ask for a pair of these shoes from 1985 in the same size is $30,000. In May of 2020, a pair of original
$30,000.
That it what?
Would a Fanatic buy that or a follow? Probably both, but we'll see. But man, $30,000 for these shoes. Right?
We about need to go ahead and break some of these definitions out real quick.
All right, after this one, we're gonna break it down. All right. So, but y'all see that $30,000.
$30,000
for a pair of shoes. Let's get it.
Oh wow.
Jordan 1s that MJ wore on the court sold for $560,000 at auction. That's because in sneaker culture, there are the Air Jordan models MJ wore on the court during his days as a Chicago Bull, and then there's everything else.
Something about his swag, man, like it's almost unexplainable. He just had that it factor.
Air Jordan is still riding high from ESPN's The Last Dance, which aired in April 2020. But the hype around Jordan isn't some short-term fad built on exotic collaborations and influencer campaigns. There is no bigger influence on sneaker culture than Michael Jordan because there is no bigger name in American pop culture. And it's not just men. Women are a fast-growing segment of its consumer base.
It's a rush when you can get your hands on the newest pair of Jordans.
Today, retro Jordans of all types and colorways, from the Jordan 1 Retro High OG University Blue to the Georgetown 3s, sell out almost instantly on the Sneakers app and in select stores across the country. And every Saturday morning, Twitter is full of sneakerheads complaining about their latest L's, punctuated with screen grabs of "got 'em" from those lucky few. Here's how Jordan built a die-hard following of enthusiasts on its way to becoming a $3.6 billion sneaker empire. This is Suddenly Obsessed. The story between Michael Jordan and Nike is a part of American folklore. A young MJ wanted to sign with Adidas, but his mom made him visit the execs at Nike. In 1984, he inked a $250,000 contract to develop his own line of Air sneakers. Nike has paid Jordan an estimated $1.3 billion since he signed that first deal. Jordan debuted his first pair of Nikes in 1984, the white and red Airships, during his rookie season and put out a new sneaker every year he played. In 1985, he sported the famous red and black Jordans known as the Band 1. In 1988, he wore the white cement Jordan 3 when he leapt from the free throw line to win the dunk contest. The 5 is the one with the teeth that look like a World War II fighter jet. He won his first championship in the 6. He was wearing the 11 when he won his first championship out of retirement in 1996. And he made the famous last shot in the 14.
Every year it gave you something to look forward to. The athlete was actually wearing them, and then those are the shoes that you could buy. If you saw him dunk from the free throw line in this shoe and it's immortalized in a poster, you can actually buy this shoe and wear it.
Everyone likes to be a winner, and in a lot of ways that carries over into the style of it, of the actual shoe. People want a part of that, which is why they gravitate towards Jordan Brand. Because Lord knows if Jordan didn't win, who knows if we'd be having this conversation.
Jordan Brand is still releasing new sneakers every year. But the original models in the OG colorways, the ones MJ wore on the court, those are the ones sneakerheads covet the most. To the trained eye, each model represents a different era of Michael Jordan's enduring legacy on the court. Every material and colorway has its own backstory, telling a different part of that narrative. Take the pair that started the craze, known as the Band Ones. Jordan was said to have been fined $5,000 per game for wearing the black and red highs because they didn't meet the league rule that a player's shoes had to match the colors in the uniform. The Band One didn't have enough white. Jordan wore them anyway.
Rob Strasser, who was running Nike's marketing at the time, said, we'll pay the fines and keep wearing the shoe. And so they ran ads saying banned by the NBA, and I think that got a lot of attention. But in terms of real numbers, it was not a huge shoe, but certainly a lot of interest around that. And I think kids coming up over the next 10 years of his career really wanted to dress like him and wanted to wear his shoes.
The lowest ask for a pair of original Band Ones from 1985 on StockX is $26,550. The Band One has been released in different variations over the years, and each time it sells out almost immediately. But supposedly, Jordan was never actually banned from wearing the black and red Air Jordan 1. That's because the shoe he was banned from wearing was really the black and red Airship that came out a year earlier in 1984. Nike released a retro pair of Airships in the Band colorway in 2020, and those black and red Airships are the most expensive pair of retro OG Jordans at New York City's Flight Club.
Mainly because, it was a very, very rare release that came out last year, 2020, around the All-Star break. The mythology of, Jordan Brand is going to be one of those things that will help him sell forever.
The Band.
Thank you. So we're back. Like Sis said, they crazy, right? So that's what I'm saying. We're trying to understand, okay, what's the mindset behind, doing this? Well, we seen the highest we saw, right, as far as the purchase of Jordans or J's was 6 figures. 6 figures, family. That's a house.
Boy, that's life.
That's a whole house.
That's life.
For some shoes, family.
That's life.
And like Sis said, that's crazy, right? So let's see what.
I think look.
Let's see what a Fanatic. Let's break down these definitions like you stated, man. Let's get it. Something's going on here. 6
figures for a pair of shoes, man. Look, I ain't never been with it. Yeah, look. I'm grown now, so we ain't in high school no more, so I'm coming out with it with the come out. Look, I ain't buying no real Jordans. Hey, get out of here.
Right. And like I said, I'm not. I guess people may say, well, if you got it, you can do it. Yeah, that's you. But like I said, it's the thing about the worth and what's driving you to, feel the need to make these purchases. That's what we're more so focusing on, because some people are well off and maybe they can afford to, spend that amount of money. So we're not knocking, but it's like, okay, as we get deeper into it, like, okay, where should that mindset or those different sacrifices or that loyalty reside? Where should it go? That's the aim of the show, right?
Right.
Let's go. Fanatical, right?
All right, give me a second. Let me get this up there for the folk.
And I got a couple of them. You go ahead and read the one you got. Then I'm going to get one, too. Let's get it.
All right. Here we go. We got the definition for fanatical from, what website is this? Dictionary.com. I guess that's what that say. It look kind of funny. So fanatical.
Dictionary.com, yeah.
All right. So fanatical. Motivated or characterized by an extreme. I can't see it from this far.
Okay, extreme, it's the uncritical enthusiasm or zeal, as in religion or politics. That's what a fanatical person is. Motivated or characterized by an extreme, uncritical enthusiasm or zeal, as in religion or politics. Right? So this term has been placed on people that's dealing with only entertainment. Because, like I said, I haven't heard anybody call themselves a fan of Christ or a fanatic a fanatical believer in Christ, but it says fanatical is like tied to the way you would look at something religiously.
Right.
And religion usually comes with do's, don'ts, obligations, things like that. So, yet we have a lot of fans of people that's not religious figures, right?
So that make you even think. That make you think it didn't just dawn on me until just now.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, man.
Like, cause I know when I first came into the truth of Christ, the true knowledge of Christ, one of the first people I ran into was while researching a whole lot of things was KRS-One. A lot of people don't know that he ended up creating a hip hop religion. He created the religion of hip hop.
Hey, truth be told, hip hop is a religion.
It is.
Cause like even with what we just showed with the, Michael Jordan, right? I mean, all of it really. Everything we gonna show has been propped up to the people as a religion, the way they engaging in it, right?
Right.
But like even with hip hop and the whole culture there, man, like when they speak on something, I think we brought it out last week. When they speak on something, typically the people that are interested or subscribe to their message or their way of life, they're gonna go move on that right then and there. Even like, you know, when a rapper was wearing certain shoes like Jordans, right? That's why they call it like advertisement. That's why certain celebs don't wear nothing, because they know if they wear it, the people is gonna go get it.
And pretty much that's where they get all these endorsement deals and different things like that from. But that's what they were speaking on in the video also, that it's made its way into hip hop culture. Like Air Jordan's made its way into hip hop culture, being the shoe. And now, like they were saying, women even becoming big fans of them, because like I know back when I was younger, women was wearing them, but they wasn't wearing them like that. But remember the the Jordan heels?
Oh yeah, they did come out with those. They was trying to reach to the women too.
Yeah,
all right.
They more women wearing them now from the aspect of, hey, my man got them, I got them, we doing the twinsy thing. The twinsy thing is going on with that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna read a couple more, and then we're gonna go into follow, right? So a fanatic, right? It says one who is zealous or devotedly engaged in a cause or mission. A zealous or devoted adherent of an ideology or cause. I'm gonna jump down though. Like wouldn't even know that this would be a part of a fanatic. It says a Christian who is publicly displays his or her religion. That's a fanatic.
That's new.
Yeah.
That's new. So, it ain't no other religions out here? Christian is the main one?
He didn't say Islam or nothing like that. It says Christian, man. On this particular term.
Make you think who the sheep is. Yeah, I'm gonna shut my mouth. I ain't gonna say too much. Get on over there, chop.
All right. So let's get follower. Let's get that one.
All right. So we have follower over here. Let me see if I can blow this up for my eyes, y'all. We're gonna blow this up for my eyes' sake. Boom. Okay. A person or thing that follows. A person who follows another in regard to his or her ideas or belief, disciple, or what's that word? Adherent. A person who imitates, copies, or takes a model or idea.
Yeah. So we purposely put it this way because some people don't want to be called fans, or don't want to say, well, I'm a fan of your music, or I'm a fan of, what you do. It may have a negative
connotation on them.
Right. So we just clearing it up. Like it's pretty much the same thing. So we, won't have a evil look at it. But when it comes to what we're striving to establish here and come together from all over the states, 4 corners of the world, and for those that may be listening, how does this play in us building? And that's why we're going into it as well. Like, it's going to ultimately lead to, okay, which category, which is like we just showed, is really the same, do you want to classify yourself under? One is more like I seen some definitions when it came to Fanatic. It says like it's extreme. So are we going to be extremely supportive or extremely engaged? Because I think that's what it's going to take for us to get further along in the spread of this newfound awakening and setting the precedence for the image of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Because the image of, the beast, or, what everybody want to call, that image is being highly pushed, and they got a lot of supporters.
Exactly.
And how we going to contend with it if we don't even want to ascribe to what it's going to take to be a competitive or a competitor in these times? Yeah. Man, that's, some of the things you're going to face in this walk is going to take that mindset of a fanatic. So we're going to dive into the next thing, y'all. We're going to go into a little bit more on the sports side. Let's get some more.
Is this it right here?
Fanatic or followers. Are these people fanatics or followers, fam?
Is it?
Yeah, that's it. It's like 3 minutes as well. And for the brethren that, if you're listening in, you can go ahead and call in if you're listening. We'll bring you on as soon as you're ready or when we see you. Let's get it.
I'd been a sports writer for 20 years. But really, I just wanted to understand, what made them tick. Why are people so into sports? This is how we do it for the dogs! A superfan is somebody who's heavily invested in a team. Their self-esteem is wrapped up in that team. The clinical psychologists that I talked to don't like fandom being described as addiction. They prefer the word obsession.
Fair use for educational purposes. Fair use.
Christopher Lindemann, he's this great little kid. They live outside Chicago. His dad has season tickets to the Green Bay Packers. It's a huge Packers family. But Christopher, when he was a little boy, became an Eagles fan because he loved birds. Very quickly, which can happen with children, he became hugely invested.
Tom Brady, don't video, don't.
Why are you so mad at Tom Brady?
One day, a couple years ago, he was watching the Eagles play the Patriots. And as he's done over his career, Tom Brady, the Patriots quarterback, was beating the Eagles.
Don't be so mad at Tom Brady.
I hate him, though.
The person most likely to become a super fan is going to be somebody whose parents were super fans or whose siblings were super fans and who at a very young age were introduced into fandom. I am a super fan of one particular team. I'm a super fan when it comes to the United States men's national soccer team. I construct my life a little bit around games. I put them in the calendar so my wife knows when that game is on, I'm going to be unavailable. What it really comes down to is that we have a natural inclination to group. We are biologically wired that way. Going back hundreds of years, it was smart to be part of a group because that's how you hunted and you survived. But we don't need to group for survival anymore. What do? We group around sports teams. Really what you're doing as a superfan is bolster.
Hold on. Hey, I don't know if y'all caught that or not, but the group, us grouping ourselves together, whether we may be followers or whether we may be fans, around one
purpose, one goal, unified. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, I don't want to go before, but go ahead. If you got anything else, we got 1 more minute, then we're gonna touch on exactly what you on. Right?
Right. You know what? Since we are, I'm a yield. But that's it right there. That's the ticket.
All of these other things, your self-esteem, the group, constructing and reinforcing relationships and other aspects of yourself. Teddy Curvin is just this fantastic guy. He lives in Milwaukee.
So yeah, it's this guy here is a little bit over the edge. So we're gonna pause it right there, right? But like I was saying, like you see the drive, the loyalty, the dedication to buy Jordans, to purchase tickets and support football teams. Where that same energy at for Christ?
All right, because like for some of these football games, I know tickets be ranging to probably by like what $400 or $500 a ticket sometimes. Like, and some folks
season tickets.
Folk be taking their whole family $400-$500 a ticket. What makes us so invested that we would spend 6 figures on a shoe, $400-$500 per ticket for a ticket per person? We need that same drive here.
For the kingdom, man.
We need that same drive here.
Now do we see why they're thriving? They all agree and they're fanatics for what they believe in.
Mm-hmm. Collectively, and it said as a group. And from the standpoint where he was giving it from, he was like he made an analogy. He was like back in the Gap. He was like when you wanted to hunt, typically people would get in a group to go hunt. And this is some of the characteristics and some of the things we got to start thinking about now. Christ told us that we was going to be fishers of man. So we're going to need to get in the group to go.
Get in the habit of it, right? Right. And like I said, hopefully with that mindset, it could, get the ball rolling on what we know is going to be needed for the kingdom. Because we know the kingdom comes not by observation. So, like I said, if you got some input, call in. Let us know.
Throw that number out there. Throw that young number out there.
You see it?
So yeah. Make sure y'all call in. Make sure y'all engage in the chat with us as well. Let us know. Just based off of the information that we been bringing now, what would you classify yourself when it comes to how you view truth music? How you view truth music?
Or the entrepreneurs that's here. Or just the gospel in general.
What's your stance? What's y'all stance on it? Because we would love to hear what y'all take is on it. And even if you watch this video afterwards, make sure you put down in the comment section as well what it would be for you, fan, follower.
Right. From here on out, though, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, if you was once a shoe fanatic, a football, a sport, football, you had a certain football team that you was a fanatical personality over, let us know. But also let us know, okay, how has the Most High been able to encourage you to use that for him? All right, on the flip side. So, all right, we got one more we're going to dive into. And like I said, we're not going to hold y'all too long. The more engaged we get, we'll stick around. But if not, like I said, we're going to dive into this. We got a couple of scriptures to show how what was going on back in the times of old and in the times of the disciples in Christ when it came to this mindset of loyalty and dedication. Go ahead. We all know him, right? Michael Jackson.
Don't beat it just yet. Stick around.
Fair use.
Fair use for educational purposes. Boy, he was loved by the world. The world.
The MIDI pack.
Goes MIDI pack.
Unbelievable.
Insane MIDI pack.
You want a beautiful melody? I got you.
Boy.
Yes, what you see is what it is. What you just saw. Right? Let's put that picture back up there if you don't mind.
Is that there?
Man, here we have a statue of Michael Jackson. I didn't know about it until I stumbled across this. But this is how much of a fanatic the world was for this man. Does Christ deserve more? The Most High deserve more? The kingdom deserve more? Now, we're not by no stretch of imagination saying we should be worshiping artists like they're doing. We already know that's a no-no, right?
That's right.
But if we can get a fraction of the support for everyone, not just the artists, I'm talking about, that's why we say, well, if you're doing something, we need the support and the loyalty to be across the board for whomever, whatever ones is doing in the kingdom. We should be good. Just a fraction of the energy and the loyalty that we're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the people, man, crying, standing outside the man's hotel. He's not even performing. If you've ever been to a Michael Jackson concert, call in. Tell us your experience.
Cause I like my oldest son. He's 23. He loves Michael Jackson. He loves Michael Jackson. And I'm like, dude, when Michael Jackson was alive, like you wouldn't even really thought of it like that. like Michael Jackson wasn't even alive when you was alive, man. But nonetheless, he have a warm spark in his heart for Michael, not even knowing a fraction of the great things that he's done.
Musically.
Yeah,
that they propped him up. So, man, this is how dedicated people are. Like, this is a video that's after he's passed, and they're still, holding on to his name and the things that he's done. Like you stated, your son didn't even meet him, but yet the loyalty and the way that he sought out for, we're just saying, man, y'all, let's get this word out for the gospel in Christ like this, huh?
Exactly, because it definitely needs more attention. It needs more energy towards it, to the same degree that we put that same energy and attention to going to concerts, going to football games, and different things like that. We were whole invested in those things, following them religiously, like so engaged to where amongst each other with our peers, that was the conversation. That was the factor where, okay, like say for instance, me and you, we friends. Now I don't watch football. Now I may sound crazy saying this. I like the Patriots. You like the Patriots. People might be like, "Oh no, the Patriots suck." I'm just using an example. Don't shoot me. I like the Patriots. You like the Patriots. Me and you, we get Patriots face paint.
See the guy on the last video, he had whole body paint.
Right. We get mugs. We get any and everything that's related to that thing that we religiously follow. Like old dude was saying in the video before, a couple videos before, that he molds his life around that. And he even marks on his calendar so his wife can know, like, hey, this is coming up here.
Don't you plan none.
Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it.
And shout out to those that's listening that have surrounded your life around the gospel. Right? Not saying that no one hasn't, but for those of us that were strongly involved in these type of scenarios, all of the ones we played on up until this time, let's look back on it like, dang, I was going hard for them, bro.
Right.
Like, I was going real hard. I was a straight up fanatic. So we don't want to be a fanatic for the world. Then now we just say we're a follower of Christ. Because another term for follower is just learning. Like, especially when I was looking it up in the Strongs. Okay. Shalom.
Shalom, Mr. Stacey Adams. Mr. Stacey Adams.
Glad you could come through, all right? So, you can chime in when you get it, well, when you would like, man. But like I was stating, I was looking up follower in the Strongs, and it pretty much says that follower is just a learner. One is learning about Christ, which is what a disciple is. That's why when you look at the apostles, I'm gonna see if I can find this too, man. I think it was on the Fanatic that it's synonymous to apostle.
Yeah.
Yeah, apostle is synonymous to fanatic. So are we just followers of Christ, or are we fanatics or fans of Christ? Because you can see how the energy and the mindset that these people show for, all the examples we've shown prior, that you will go the extra mile. some of the adversities that we're going to be tested with on this walk, you're going to need that energy and that fortitude and that diligence to go the extra mile. So are we just see? That's how you can tell if you're a follower or fanatic.
Right. Like, for example, even not even dealing with entertainment, take a sports fanatic. I mean, they got certain things like the St. Louis Cardinals. They wearing St. Louis Cardinal everything, St. Louis Cardinal paint job, St. Louis Cardinal bed sheets. See, that's a fanatic. They trying to follow everything the pattern the St. Louis Cardinals. And they could be for any team or basketball team. Like, I know people that follow the Lakers and they just Laker everything.
I saw a guy with a remember that guy with the Laker truck down in Clydesdale?
Yeah. And that's all they have is that right there, and they just saw it and doubted it. But if that's the same thing as being an apostle, that we need to follow Christ the way he walked, reading the scriptures. Okay, Christ was in a situation where we need to, and then read what he did, and just follow every footstep he did. So
man.
It definitely, like, it got to start. It got to start moving up now, as far as, because like even just looking, going back to even hitting on Michael, the way they he brought something, but let me shift it just a little bit. He brought something that was of value to the people,
right?
That had them on that fanatic level. That I feel like I'm even gaining an even bigger understanding of it now. That surpassed a follower. A follower is like, I feel like a follower is like, okay, yeah, that's something that's good, but I feel like that's a starting point. A follower is a starting point where it's like, okay, let's see how this goes. I'll emulate this. I'll pattern myself after that. I really like this. So once you start emulating, patterning yourself after it, you start that hits you into a whole nother level. Now I feel like we're fanatics now, because we're taking that because now we're seeing that value in, like, just using Mike as an example again, seeing that value in him and drawing from that value and wanting to shape our life and mold our life around that value that he's providing.
God.
So now, go ahead, Stace.
With Theo, this is how Michael Jackson sold it. I grew up in the 80s, so I was there with it. This is his biggest tool, showmanship.
I was just saying that.
He did things that nobody else was doing. Maybe Prince was close, but the way he was dancing and everything, how he dressed, when he did a moonwalk, just the moonwalk, you see people like faint just because he did a moonwalk. Just because the moonwalk, and his showmanship, and like I like to use the words of Brother Bronze, though we got to use our Christ showmanship, the showmanship that Christ did. Follow his showmanship, what he did, when he had talking with the Pharisees, how did he handle that? How did he handle it with the Gentiles? How did he handle it with his own people? How did he handle it with his disciples? He showed showmanship, and that's why they followed him around. Remember, he was doing stuff. I mean, carnal stuff, they were looking at that, but they wasn't understanding the spiritual thing. But he had a showmanship the way he had people following him around. From where he was going, where Christ go? He'll disappear and end up somewhere else, going to a portal or somewhere else.
Boy, be ducked off real quick.
Like what the Bible say, his fame. Yeah, fame.
Yeah, and we're gonna go to that, right? And you dead on with it. But this is the thing. Okay, so we see that. So when it comes to the aspect of what we're saying, like supporting or investing into Christ or investing into the kingdom, what's your mindset on that? Now, let me speak on this, because I know one may say, well, we all, just trying to rub two pennies together, right? But it's more ways to invest than just financially.
Right. I agree with that 100%. We got to get like-minded and invest in being like-minded We done invested it. Okay, how are we gonna educate our children? Because when everything implodes, how we gonna take care of our children? We need to watch these other children, watch each other's back, stuff like that. Food, shelter. Hey, we got we don't know what's gonna happen, but you prepare for everything. And I know the church is getting that together, where certain body's gonna do this. It's kind of like tabernacle. That's why we rehearse that. Tabernacles is a fine example. The feast days is a fine example. That's showing you how we would react going to Sabbath class. Though that's your body, or your family that you see every Sabbath, and even on the other day, off days on the Sabbath. So that's who you're gonna get to grow together with, and eventually all the bodies will get together and be one big happy family.
So are you saying we should be fanatics of the body, of the Sabbath, because like we just showed, this guy brought season tickets, and if you bought the season tickets, you plan on being there.
Right.
So do we got season tickets for the Shabbat?
Do we got season tickets for the Shabbat? How many of y'all got? Hey, look, y'all in the chat. Throw some 12s down in there, because I want to know extra. I'm extra today. Throw some 12s down there if you got season tickets to the Sabbath.
Right.
Throw some 12s down there.
Con, it ain't selling them either. I need these tickets.
Exactly. That's why I'm keying in on that, because the Most High is looking at it. He know, especially for those of us that did it in the world. I mean, before submitting our life to Him and submitting our life to Christ, He know we were diehard fans for whatever it is we was. Right. So if He see us halfway, committing to this side of things, he know he's gonna hold that. I think he's gonna hold that over our head a little bit there.
He did say he was a jealous God, didn't he?
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah. You see what happened in the wilderness?
I was just watching that with the children the other day.
They had 1 foot in, one in, yeah, I understand this, but I kind of like how it was back in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you gotta lose that mindset. It's gonna be the same thing with Babylon, man. I miss going to Steak and Shake. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you said something key. So people say they miss certain things, like say, for instance, we'll go back to the music scene, right?
Yeah.
Well, I like the music that was back in the world, right? Or the quality was like this. And that's why we're opening up this show, like, okay, like when we put the survey out, we like, man, who you want on? Who would you like to see? What are some things you would like to add? And then we was asking people to call in, for to give the input on the artist. Like, if certain things need to be tweaked, give your input. Because one thing I was thinking about when we was coming up with this topic is we're a body, and there's different functions to the body, and a lot of people don't probably look over this function. It's called, one of the functions is help.
And see,
one of the undesired. You see what I'm saying? Some people's ticket into the kingdom may be based off them being extra supportive to whatever ministry it is.
God.
That may be your entry in. And it says that's one of the parts of the body that's less desirable but more important. This is why we're highlighting, because we're looking all over we're looking at the teaching, the prophesying, and all those different things, the ministries, but nobody want to help get the ministry where it needs to be. Not saying no one is, but because some people are showing love. So all praises, and the most it ain't for us to give you the kudos as long as the Most High see it. But what we're saying, we got to go that extra mile now. We're almost on that home stretch.
Right. Time to do your part. Like when we first getting into the truth, like the history, doing the history and stuff like that. And we got a lot of history and get a lot of books and stuff, especially the last 4 or 5 years, to break down some of the lies. I mean, really break down some of the lies. Like, remember back in the day, all we had was no Lost Tribes, Promised Land, and the Babylon 10 book. Dude, that was it.
That was it.
Look what we got now. I'm like, it's open up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's my part of the ministry. It's like, and whatever I need to do, I'm gonna do.
And see,
because that's the thing. At the end of the day, I want to be like, let's say, Christ saying, well, job well done. Not I never knew you.
Right.
So that's the mindset we need to have.
And see, this is where this is actually taking us as well, is when you put your input in, your input is a brick. Everybody that put their input in is a brick, whether it get heard or not. It's still a brick, because somebody could pick up a brick that necessarily, hey, we don't need that brick for this building right here, but hold on to that brick.
Right.
We're gonna need it later on. We're gonna need like some you gonna need for the corner of the house, because it just don't fit right there. But nonetheless, hold on to it. All right, we got some more folk coming back in, because what it's gonna do also as well, with us opening a platform up like this as well, it takes away from murmuring and backbiting and different things like that, because we opening the floor. If things need to change, or things need to go in another direction, hey, we here to sound the trumpet on it. Hey, we gonna hear it, and to the best of our abilities, whatever the Most High put in our hands to move whatever we can, we gonna move it if it be the Most High's will.
And that's gonna be by default, because they changing their narrative. We gotta adjust.
And I don't know if that's why the Father put this on me to go into this topic, but we can't just follow anymore. We got to put our bricks in. We got to put more emphasis. We got to become more enthusiastic about this walk. And whatever it is, it's going to take for us to establish it. So we got King Quan, man. Shalom, Mark. You got something you want to say on this topic, man?
Shalom. I actually just got in because they didn't let me have lunch. But bring me up to speed a little bit about what y'all talking about. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Con.
So yeah, man, we talking about it's really no difference, but it's a slight difference when it comes to a fanatic and a follower, right?
Right.
Whether it was in the entertainment world, sports world, but we're saying that same energy, that same throughput we was putting through for the world, it has to carry over into this walk, and which will eventually build up the kingdom. We can't have support each other. We can't have being engaging with each other. We can't have spread the word, and then we wondering why, like, okay, why are we still, in this predicament as a nation? Because Christ says what? Until the gospel is spread through what? Throughout the four corners of the world. Right. Then shall, the establishment or the end come. Because we know when it's in, the true establishment is put in place.
But folk thumb be broke on the share button, though.
You got to share. You got to like. You got to come in. You got to support. So that's what we pretty much building on. Like, man, what is it going to take? Is it going to take followers and fanatics to get over this hump as a nation?
Gone.
To be honest, I feel like there's a lot of movement in the children of Israel as far as the music is concerned. The fanatics are more on the other side of the music industry simply because of the way that they build up the images of these people. And we all know that images of that nature tend to be idolized, right? And those of us that's on the Israelite side of music, we don't look to be idolized. Right? So a lot of things that they do, we don't do, right? We don't actively promote as much as we would have done if we were in the world. Like if we were in the world, we would be out there hitting every DJ, going to every event, right? Making flyers, right? Promoting everything as much as we possibly could. We don't really do that because we have a body, and the body hears the music. And don't get it twisted. There are people that really love certain artists. Like they won't listen to anybody else, or they'll kind of like listen to certain artists and stuff like that within the body because they have a sound that they like. I wouldn't necessarily call that a fanatic, but the fanatic is more along the lines where the Most High was talking about don't idolize man, right? So because America has the American Idol, right? And that's a living, breathing person that people have turned into an idol, right? And there's a scripture, I can't remember it, I'm driving right now, so I will pull it up, that says don't set up the idols in your heart, right? To remove the idols that's within your heart. And we all know the heart is the mind. So people have it in their mind that this person, you know, is above and beyond. That's why when somebody does something, you know, like take Travis Scott for instance. Right, that whole incident what happens with him in the concert, that was happening all the time. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that they painted him at such a high standard that they felt like he should have jumped down off the stage, stopped this $500,000, whatever this show that was going on. Not to say he shouldn't or shouldn't have, but this is what they're thinking. This is their idol. You know what I'm saying? They look at this man like he's a god. And if he doesn't do something to their standards, you know, everybody's like, what's going on? You know, now the fanatics are asking questions as to why they're following him, why they're listening to his music and things like that. But, you know, I just think that it's more, I think it's more idolatry on the worldly side than it is on the Hebrew hip hop side. And to be honest, I don't think it's ever going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think we can build and we can create music and people will take notice, but I don't think that the world will take notice the way that we would expect them to take notice, right? The way that the gospel hip hop, you know how gospel hip hop has a whole genre and they have, you know, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that they would take notice to us like that unless it's the Most High's will for it to happen, because it's going to overshadow them and their word and their walk and all the nonsense that they've been putting out, the white Jesus, the Sunday worship, you know what I'm saying? Not keeping the Sabbath holy, not keeping the laws. All that stuff is in our music. And the main point of the music industry is to build a nation that is against that. That's either ungodly or that follows God to the point where it doesn't matter whether you keep the law, statutes, and commandments or not.
So one thing I want to point out to you. So I see what you're saying. We're definitely in agreement with it. Definitely, we made that disclaimer. No, idolizing no brothers or anybody or anything other than only one we worship is the Most High. Mm-hmm. You know. So, but what we were speaking on, we went into the actual definition of fanatic, right? Okay. And what it actually means. So we're looking at it from that standpoint versus, you know, what the world has pretty much took ownership of, right?
Right, the stigma that they put on.
The stigma. And when we're saying that energy, that mindset and that dedication of a fanatic, that needs to be shifted towards the kingdom in Christ and the Most High.
Okay. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that is something, I mean, it's going on. I mean, there's, like I said, there's a lot of movement in the children of Israel when it comes to the music scene. We can create things like this platform is one way that we can begin to use the platform to build the energy, right? To teach people about how it's cool to be an Israelite. And I think that's lacking a lot of times in the children that come into this. You know, when you come from the world and you come into the truth, it's kind of hard to see it being cool and something that you can put forth and put all your energy into, right? We feel like, well, not me, but you know, like there's like some of the teenagers, if you grew up in the world and you become and now you're a teenager and your parents bring you to the church, your parents is all in it. They're fanatic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they love the Sabbath. They got all their energy in it. They praise it. They love to sing. They like the music, you know, the gospel music or whatever it is, you know, the choir singing. They love all of that. But then you tend to find the children, which is really those people that's going to push not only the music, but the word. They tend to be like, this is not as cool as it was when I was following, you know, these other rappers.
One of the things I noticed, though, okay, like definitely that's something that's going on within the whole growth of things, right? But that's where each age group has to band together and understand what's going on. Like you said, the moving parts, and we have to make sure we're promoting that to the children. You know, like the children may not gravitate to some of the things that the older generation may do, right? So it needs to be communication. Like even with Mike, like what we just saw, we played a clip with Michael Jackson, right? It wasn't just young people out there. It was all age ranges.
Right. Yeah, Mike, like I said, Mike had something that it was like
out of this world, right?
Definitely.
But this is the thing. We got something. Christ.
Right.
Out of this world.
Out of this world, though.
And we're not utilizing it.
not even know this world.
and that's what I'm getting at. Like, we have to band together and really take ownership to it. And like, I'm gonna go into a few scriptures. So I don't know if y'all can stick around. You gotta want to go on a quick break, and we come back to these scriptures. And like I said, we'll end. You know, we'll go into that. Y'all give y'all spill on, then we'll wrap it up. But family, share this. We need this message to get out to as many people as we can, so we can build on this mindset or this concept. And like I said, it may fall over into next show. Like, we really driving this home. Like, we gotta connect. No one is counted unworthy or useless. Everyone is useful for the kingdom. Whether you're listening or you're presenting something to listen to, or you're presenting something that is of value, whatever it may be, all parties are important. So we're gonna just go to a quick.
I tell the children that all the time, not to cut you off, but I tell the children that all the time. Like, when they come in, I be like, yo, what music are you listening to? Well, here's some music, because I know it's gonna be a transition for you. You should listen to this. You know, I'll give them whatever music, you know, it's on my playlist, or, you know, I hit their parents up and be like, yo, look, this is what we listen to. So you have music to listen to, you know what I'm saying? So I try to give that same energy to the youth so that they know that, you know, it's cool. You know, we try to make music that's cool. We try to dress, you know what I'm saying, still hip and trendy with the Hebrew wear, with the fringes. You know, you can put it on your normal clothes and all that kind of stuff. So this is what they need to understand. Like, it's not just about, you know, the world, you know what I'm saying, and what the world has to offer. We are what the world has to offer. So if we take that energy that we were giving the world and give it to Christ and the music and the ministry, it's over.
Exactly.
And that's what we're working on. So we're gonna go on a quick break. Y'all can stick with us if y'all would like, and then we're gonna come back, wrap a few scriptures, and talk about it and head on out. Appreciate everyone sticking around. If you would, hit that like button, share it, and we'll be right back.
We about to hit you with a banger, boy.
Ever been at that point in your life where you're like, it's now or never?
Take a risk, had to take a risk. Work so hard to make improvements, might just break a wrist. Nah, that's that faith like Abraham. Stepping out on faith like Abraham. Take a risk, I had to take a risk. Work so hard to make improvement, might just break a wrist. That's that faith like Abraham. Stepping out on faith like Abraham. Stepping out on faith like Abraham. I serve the God Almighty, He the great I am. Making ultimate sacrifices, just like the lamb. Had to submit it all first, but this is not a scam. Come from the bottom, where you giving nothing but crumbs. Low expectations, and your chances is slim to none. Never worry about obstacles coming, they stack. Successes never been easy, I promise it's facts. Throw away doubt and go toe to toe with intimidation. Losing's no option, cause winning's my only aspiration. Sometimes it takes a fall to get to your highest peak. Gotta do whatever it takes, I cannot accept defeat. No. Take a risk, had to take a risk. Work so hard to make improvements, might just break a wrist. Nah, that's that faith like Abraham. Stepping out on faith like Abraham. Take a risk, I had to take a risk. Work so hard to make improvement, might just break a wrist. That's that faith like Abraham. Stepping out on faith like Abraham. They can't count you in, so they can't count you out. Focus on what God got for you, don't be chasing clout. Direct your life up to the north and don't be going south. Just trust the process, disregard what they be talking about. Haters gon' hate, pay it no mind, cause it'll have you shook. You must excel and keep it going regardless how it look. Stay working and follow the guidelines of the book. And watch how God step in your life and give you that extra push. The path already paved, but He ain't gon' make it clear. Sometimes He put us to the test so we can face our fears. Might hit a roadblock and jump a couple hurdles. Might have to switch your route up and stop going in circles. It's easy to give up info when things get critical. I'm learning how to keep the hope in the invisible. Mountains too big for us to conquer, David and Goliath. Take a risk, had to take a risk. Work so hard to make improvements, might just break a wrist. Now that's that faith like Abraham. Stepping out on faith like Abraham. Take a risk, I had to take a risk. Work so hard to make improvement, might just break a wrist. That's that faith like Abraham. Stepping out on faith like Abraham.
Yeah. All right. Praise to the Most High. Shalom. We are back.
We're back. So I'm gonna run through these few scriptures, right? I'm trying not to break down the whole lesson, so I'm just gonna go into it. So this is what I received when it came to like, okay, the mindset of a fanatical person, right? Was this ever displayed in the scriptures, right? And what standard should one be at to even receive this type of respect, right? Because even when it comes to being a fanatic towards a person, it's what you respect what they've done. Like a lot of people respect what Michael Jordan did. A lot of people respect, all that Michael Jackson did, right? And a lot of people got the utmost respect for, football players out there killing themselves, short-term lives and things like that. Right. So it does boil down to respect. So we're gonna look at some of the highly respected men of our time, and we're gonna dive into it. Read this, Mike. All right, so I'm gonna have to take my crown off.
Need to get mine done.
All right. So I'm gonna go to 2 Kings 2, right? And 1. Now, it says, and it came to pass. Oh, you want me to wait on you?
Yeah.
All right. He want to pull it up for y'all, so we're gonna pull it up right quick.
Okay.
Say 2 Kings 2 and 1.
Yeah, we come to see y'all. We gonna come see y'all. Y'all doing big things. That's a humble servant homestead. Shalom to y'all. They out there doing big things. They getting prepared for their wilderness. So, hey, that's big. If y'all ain't subscribed to their channel, please do. I think they doing a lot of great things to encourage those of us to get ready.
We definitely got to get down there. There's something. Look,
some good fresh produce. Man, they getting it in. They got the livestock. Man, yeah, that's not the. But here we go, y'all. We just gonna dive into it. I got a few scriptures, and then like I said, y'all brothers can speak on it after we run through it. But this is what I received when it came to this whole mindset of fanatic or follower, right? Mm-hmm. It says, and it came to 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 1. And it came to pass when the Lord would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, that Elijah went to Elisha from Gilgal. So I'm going to jump down to the verse, but I'm going to read 2, then we're going to jump through because it really goes a little further. I didn't know that Elijah was that dedicated. Elisha, right? But he was, as we're going to read, right? And it says, and Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethel. So they kept traveling. They went from Bethel to another. Where else did they go here? They went to Jericho, and the list goes on. And Elisha was constantly, admonishing Elijah was admonishing Elisha to be like, okay, I'm about to get ready to go on my journey. You could go on back. And Elisha's like, nah, I'm loyal, I'm dedicated, I'm in it to the end, right? So let's see what ends up happening. We're gonna jump down to verse 9, and it says, and it came to pass when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. So, like I said, when you go and read it yourself, he was constantly telling him, like, you good, you could go back, I'm good, I got this, me and the Most High got something going on. But Elisha just, he knew the spirit that was on him. He had this level of respect, this level of loyalty to Elijah, that he could not miss out on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's the mindset I'm seeing these people for these football teams. Like, they got to be at every game. When it came to buying Jordans, they had to buy every pair.
Mm-hmm.
But here we have an example in the scriptures of one recognizing a spirit, the spirit of the Most High on a man, and like, I can't miss out on this.
At all.
God.
At all.
God.
This is the mindset we're going to need. We got to be in the spirit to recognize when the spirit is on our brothers. Some of the sisters got strong spirits on them to encourage that virtuous. I mean, it even tells you in the New Testament, right? That our sisters supposed to exhibit that strong spirit of a virtuous woman. Cleave unto these brothers and sisters. These are the ones that we should be fanatics to. Because as I go through, one may say, well, you can't be a fanatic for a person. We're going to see. We're going to read it. Like I said, I'm not going to give my own interpretation, right? But here we have it. He said, I see a spirit on you and I need parts. And I ain't leaving until I get parts. Does this not sound like a fanatic?
That's a fanatic.
Right?
He went everywhere he went.
Everywhere.
They didn't want to go back. You know, and it's funny. Before I got into the truth, I don't know, I haven't told you before. I was in the car there doing competitions. I started in 98. Mm-hmm. Now I finished in 2012. I got into the truth 2013. You want to talk about fanatic? I would drive 12 hours just to go to one to compete. No, every weekend, whatever. I was still and I was in the Navy at the time, even when I got out. I'm talking about, you have no idea. I put 99,000 miles on my first car in 1 year, just going to car shows.
Boy.
I was a fanatic.
Look, and now that thing has definitely turned around for us, because where we would drive these miles going to the car show, we would drive these miles going to the Passover.
they be complaining about, I didn't want to go to Passover. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's my mentality on that. My passion to get the books. I did the same thing. Like, if I told you how many amplifiers and woofers I've bought over the last 15 years before I quit, you'd be like, wow. I do the same thing with the books.
Right.
I just translate to the history of the books, the Bible, go to Passover. Like, some people are like, man, wow, you go to college, yeah, $300 to get inside the bill. I'm like, I used to pay $200, $300 just to go to World Finals. So this is nothing new to me. I did it in the world.
And see, you know what? He saw that in you. He saw that in a lot of us. That's why I'm asking people to call in, or, you know, y'all come on, give your testimonies, or at least examine ourselves. The Most High, he's looking at, okay, how dedicated you was in the world. I need that same energy. Keep that same energy over on this side.
That's why I was giving the name Hanukkah, dedication.
Oh, Khan.
Like, I was dedicated. Like, once I start something, it's hard for me to stop.
Khan. And he know he put that in you. So that's why you're over here with us now, right? So we're gonna keep going though. Let's see some more, right? And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. So, but even when he told him it's a chance that you won't be able to get past this, he still stuck around.
And that was the same thing. Oh, just bringing that back up with Mike. When Mike was at the like you were saying, Mike was at the hotel. He wasn't even performing yet. He wasn't even performing, and the people was outside of his hotel,
hooping and hollering,
crying and fainting, and here come the stretcher.
Right. Yeah, they be out there going, Michael, and pass out.
going out of it.
Yeah. I've seen it. No, I haven't been to one of his concerts. I probably couldn't get nowhere near him back in the 80s, man. It was wild.
I think you probably gonna go to that precept where it was the same for Christ.
Yeah, we'll go into Christ. We got to bring it in so we see that that spirit or that level of respect was shown throughout. Like I said, we just brought one, right? That was spot on with Elijah and Elisha's relationship. So let's carry it over, right? We'll go to Christ. So, I'm just going to get a little bit of it. I ain't going to go all the way. I'm going to go to where Ox spoke of earlier. So, I'm going to go to St. Matthew's 4. And we're going to go to, I think we're going to go to verse 23. So, up until this point, and like you were stating with your, I say we won't call it just a habit or what you was into as far as the car shows and things like that. The Most High saw that, and in this chapter, this is the chapter when he's bringing in, the disciples, later becoming apostles, becoming what? Fanatics. They crossed over from disciples to apostles, right? Which is an extra level, a graduation up. So I'm just gonna read this though. So after these brothers then got on the team, verse 23, this is St. Matthew's 4:23, it says, and Jesus, that some may know, or Yeshua, whom we know to be his name, went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sicknesses and all manner of diseases among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria. And they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had a palsy, and he healed them. And there followed him a great multitude of people from Galilee. So, great multitudes.
Great multitude.
Right? Now, I'm pretty sure his multitude was more in numbers than what we just saw with Mike. Right?
Big time. I mean, healing people, they're seeing what they call supernatural things. Oh, oh yeah, definitely following them around.
Right? So let's keep going though, right?
Right.
Let's go to another instance. Luke 43 and 45. I'm gonna run through them quick so we can get to it. Like I said, I ain't trying to hold y'all too long here.
You said Luke who?
Luke chapter 8, verse 43.
Oh, 8.
Luke chapter 8, verse 43, family. And it reads, and a woman having an issue of blood 12 years, which had spent all her living upon physicians, neither could be healed of any, came behind him and touched the border of his garment. So I know outside of the video that I did use, it was another one. Like one of Michael Jackson's fans was able to get on stage with him, and man, their wildest dreams was fulfilled, and they would not let the man go. They was held on to him tight, man. So when we see displayed here, she was like, if I just touch his garment. Now we know ultimately what her focus was, but these were some of the things that people was doing to get around Christ.
God.
Understanding that spirit or that the power that come with it. That same thing is going to happen in these times with the true followers, because he says, greater things shall ye do. But we just got to get right? So watch this. It says, and immediately her issue of blood was stenched. But this is the key part. And Yeshua said unto, who have touched me?
Who touched me?
Well, let's listen to what the disciples said, or the apostles said. when all denied, Peter and they that were with him said, Master, the multitude thronged thee and pressed thee, and saying thou, who touched me? So as we were seeing with Mike, they was rushing all up on him. Cause I looked into that throng, it was like they was all on Yeshua. You know how them athletes or celebrities be, and even they had the security guard pushing. You seen that on the video?
The security guard was trying to push the security guard back because they was getting through the security guards.
So this is something that was perpetuated for the gospel. Where is that at? We're gonna need it.
Yeah, cause it's like and it's like this, like
through the spirit though. I ain't saying go be putting nobody in the headlock and taking nobody, garments off. We're talking about spiritually. We're gonna have to be pressing that hard to get to the kingdom through what's coming.
Cause it's like, it's understood, that we all operate with a level of humility. Mm-hmm. And we have to continue to balance this thing out and operate with that same level of humility with everything that we do as fans, as artists, as entrepreneurs, business owners. We gonna go with that level of humility, but I know, like, as artists, we're gonna have to push a little bit more. Like King Quan was speaking on earlier, like when we was in the world, we was doing a whole lot of promotion and different things like that when we was in the world, but when we come to the truth, we kind of, on the humble, we don't really do a lot of that no more. Maybe we need to do a little bit more.
For the gospel's sake.
For the gospel's sake.
And like I said,
because that's the only way it's going to get out and get to the next level. And then also for the people that are fans of the music. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is now, because I feel like we kind of came to a conclusion, like once we graduate from, we're following the truth, we're following the words. Okay, we're fans of this music because this leads me towards Christ. There's no problem with saying I'm a fanatic of something that leads me towards Christ. Whether you even buy a product that makes you that reminds you of Christ, like our sponsor that makes the wall hangs. Man, look, we trying to put the name of the Most High in every household. Mm-hmm. In every household. Every time I walk into through my front door, hey, a higher buyer, look, all the way down. There's nothing wrong with that.
So we are higher fanatics, right?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, it's not solely shaped around music. That's just one of the things because it's entertainment. But when it does come to that, like a lot of times because there was no social media like that. So back in those times, because you played a song for someone, this is how they became hip to that person. We don't have to leave that in the world. Like, okay, play the music for your partners or your family members, and maybe they be like, oh, that's nice right there. And repetitively listening to it, maybe it may, turn something on in their spirit, and hopefully they want to repent, right? Yeah. So you said something key like following, right? Inspiring more towards Christ, because that's why I'm leading it up. We went from Elijah to Christ, right? Which is the ultimate leader, the King of all kings, Lord of lords, right? So let's get a follower of him or apostle of him and see what he said. Did it stop at Christ? Should that level of respect stop there, right? Or that loyalty stop there? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 4:16. Got like two more and then that's gonna be it. And we're gonna open it up and then we're gonna let that sizzle on your spirit.
Let that sizzle.
In my country Wayne voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, so if y'all there, Ox speaking.
Oh.
Let's get it.
I'm there.
Okay. There you go.
I was saying I got a scripture too when you got a chance. I got a scripture when you get done. When you get done, I got one I wanted to pull myself.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is 1 Corinthians 4:16. It reads, wherefore I beseech you, be ye followers of me. This is an apostle, right? This is Paul. One of the ones that definitely, speaks heavily on being humble, not operating in vainglory, which he speaks of in Philippians, right? So we know he's not going to contradict himself. So when he's saying, be ye followers of me, what is he speaking about? Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11:11. Because like I said, this is all about a mindset. You know, we usually don't bring out a lot of scriptures, but I was compelled on this one, like, to just bring these and stick to this point, not trying to bring out no lesson or nothing. So, this is 1 Corinthians 11:11. Matter of fact, no, 11:1. Sorry about that. We're going to start at verse 1, and that's it. It says, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. So, when he was saying, be ye followers of me, he was saying, because I'm going to lead you to who? Christ.
And pretty much that's like a conversation, like really, like say for instance, say for instance, you listen to Brother Bronze, I don't listen to Brother Bronze, and you like, hey man, you gotta listen to this new Bronze, bro. You gotta listen to Bronze. I don't really listen to Bronze. That's getting somebody hip to something that they ain't never really been hip to. Mm-hmm. That's in our time right now, that would be a conversation like that what Paul was having there.
Right. So, but ultimately, what we're encouraging is to get involved with whatever is being spearheaded through the Spirit of Christ, because ultimately, he's still being exalted. If someone is selling hair care products, 9 times out of 10, you ain't got to look at the ingredients. Ain't nothing unclean in it. So you good.
Boy, think about how good that is. Look.
It's all across the board. Follow them on IG so you can be up to date with the new products. Come on. And we should all be making it our business to make sure the word is out there. Mm-hmm. All we're asking at TBT Radio, we're here to be put our brick in there, help us get the numbers up. So even if you come up with a product, we wouldn't second guess it. Come on in so we can promote it and help you get the word out. Hands down. Right? Last scripture. Yep, last scripture, then I'm gonna open up for the Akim. Galatians. Now this is how hard they was going when the churches was being established, right? Watch what Paul state right here, man. This is Galatians 4:13. Now tell me this is not a fanatic. For the gospel's sake. Ye know. Are you there?
Yeah.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 13. It says, ye know how through the infirmities of the flesh I preached the gospels unto you at the first. And my temptations, which was in my flesh, ye despise not. And nor rejected, but receive me as an angel of God, even as Christ Yeshua. So what he's saying, I wasn't perfect, but y'all still had a level of respect for me because you know that I was coming in the Spirit of Christ and I was anointed by Christ to bring forth this ministry, right? This is how much respect the church had and what we're going to need in establishing the church and the kingdom. Verse 15. Where is then the blessedness ye spake of? He's questioning them like, y'all, if we was all good at one point, where all that blessings that y'all had for me, right? For I bear you record that if it had been possible, ye would have plucked out your own eyes and have given them to me. Do y'all hear that? This is the...
Well, when did you just come up with these precepts that sent you in?
Today. So
now I don't know nothing about this. That's the precept, man.
But just saying, like, look at the mindset, the dedication. This is how the gospel got from Asia to all throughout the old world. These people was fanatics for this belief.
With no social media then.
None.
Wasn't even no telephone. This meant we reading a pistol. This had to be sent across the water. But they still made it happen. What excuse we got?
Not with this platform, not with the communications, none.
And the father looking at all this.
No, they use a donkey and a rowboat, and they did it, so. I'm like, hey,
And like you said, what? They were using camels. Lord, how slow they go.
Right.
Still getting the job done.
Right.
All right, I'm wrapping up, right? So that was hard. And he was like, they was willing to pluck their eyes out for him. The blessedness. That's how eager they was to put their hand to support the gospel. All right, last few verses. It says, am I therefore become your enemies because I tell you the truth? So now because more truth is coming out, don't take that energy. Now that you're in the truth, don't lose that energy. Come on back with it. We're going to need that same energy, right? Thy zealously affected you, but not well. Yea, they would exclude you that ye might be affected. But it is good to be zealously affected, always in good things, and not only when I am present with you. So I'm going to stop it right there, but a key word there is zealous, zeal. To have that zeal. That is one of the words that is
definition.
in the definition of a fanatic, to have that zeal. Let's have that same zeal, family.
Serious.
King Kwam had something. Where we going, King Kwam?
Let's go to Matthew 15 and 32 real quick, and I'm gonna grab one other one just to show you something.
Let's see.
And then we can move forward.
15, 32.
Yeah, since you were speaking about, having that, that zeal and wanting to always be around the truth, and not only for the music's sake, but for the word's sake as well.
Exactly. So you said 15 to 32?
All
right, and it reads, and Jesus, or Yeshua, called his disciples unto him and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days, and have nothing. Go ahead.
You see that? They continue, they follow Yeshua 3 days. That's fanatical. They wanted to be around them as much as possible to get this food, to get this spiritual understanding, right? And they were singing, there was some praises to the Most High, because there ain't no word without praise. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
There had to be some of that praise going on. Some of them songs sung, So there was always music involved in all of our dedication to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And this last one, I'm gonna just read it real quick. Romans 1 and 15.
Wait. I want to get something you got right here though. Not only were they with him, for 3 days, having nothing to eat, they don't even eat anything. That's how loyal they was to the cause. They forgot to eat.
They was eating that word. That's what they was eating.
Man.
They need it.
Right. Exactly. Man shall not survive by food alone, but every word that proceeded from the mouth of the Most High.
Exactly. And they was feeding off that power that Christ was walking in, because you remember in one instance when the disciples was asking him, like, have you eaten? He like, I have meat to eat, not of. And that's what it is. Like when you find your purpose in this walk, that's what we want to get. That's how tired up we want to get in this thing, man.
Oh.
Find your brick. Go ahead.
Let me grab this last one real quick, you know what I'm saying? So y'all can move on. I don't want to keep you out too long either. This is Romans 1 and 16. As Paul was speaking, it says, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. So he was not ashamed of the gospel, right? Not only the good word, right, but the music, the singing the hymns. There should be no shame in this walk, right? You should be happy that you got this understanding, because you have the power to bring salvation to the ends of the earth for everybody, the Jew and the Gentile. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to embrace it, to be around it as much as possible, to want to give it to other people so that they can enjoy the same type of love that you are receiving and you are given, and the change that not only the music has made, but the word has made in your life, right? Because when we're in the world, we have that music to listen to. We have something to gravitate to. When you come into the truth, a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of Hebrew music out there. You know what I'm saying? Like some people come to the Jersey church or the New York church and they hear me or they hear Hebrew Fresh or they hear somebody else. I'm like, yo, it's so much other music out there. Do you know about COE? Do you know about Sleepy? Do you know about Shadiawa? You know what I'm saying? Do you know about all these other brothers that's making music so that you don't have to just be boxed in, right? Do you know about Brother Bronze and all these other? It's so much music out there. I find new music all the time. Like I just let my playlist run sometimes and a new artist pops up and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna add this to my playlist. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a beautiful thing to have that dedication for the Most High and be able to be a fanatic and be able to love something as fervently as that and it be positive. And it's not like about killing each other and robbing each other and pulling each other down, but actually uplifting each other. And no hate. It's not like, yo, nah, I can't let nobody else know about another artist because then they're going to take my shine. You know what I'm saying? Like how it was in the world. I can't promote this artist because he may take my shine. I can't have him come to my show because he's a better artist than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that.
God. Now, and speaking of that, like the GLCC Music for the Soul, where it's just a playlist with a number of artists, you know, and then they put the name of the artist. They from, you know, and I look at that and like, man, I like that. Let me find who this artist is. Because I got never heard of it before. Then I find the artist and I find they got their own page and platform and I get more of their music. And I like to do that. So try to broaden my playlist.
And like I said, that's the platform. Like I said, they're constantly creating platforms to spread their, whether we want to call it that or not, Satan's gospel. Right? They creating platforms for theirs. That's what we're striving to build here. And we need everyone's support, along with all the other podcasters out there. Yep. We have to band together to make sure the word is spread. So, man, it's definitely been blessed. And I pray that, you know, this resonate with everyone's spirit, and like, we got to do more. And just think about, like we were saying, like with the epistles, man, them epistles went from hand to hand to hand. Now, say, for instance, one of the messengers said, well, I don't feel like going today. That's a message that don't get to the church. What if us not sharing something today that a brother or sister did, they took their hard time to create, and you just got to press the share button and tag button, and you say, well, I ain't doing it today. What if that's a soul that's missed and you're going to be held accountable for it?
Right. What if that's one day they say, well, no, I don't feel like doing it, or I don't feel like going today, and Christ show up.
Right. Wish you would say one day, man, I just don't feel like going to work. See, don't you not have a job no more? Look, we gotta start. Look, we ain't gonna go too deep into it now, but we gonna have a show on that too. This the business of the Most High right here.
Right.
This the business of the Most High, and a lot of people don't look at it from a business standpoint when it comes to treating the Most High in Christ's work as something that, okay, once you get baptized, you done clocked in. You don't clock out of this.
Right.
You don't clock out of this. No such thing.
Get it? All right, you keep working until your vacation. When Christ come, okay, you go on vacation.
That's vacation.
A 1,000-year vacation.
Right. I'm looking for that vacation time right there.
1,000 years? Okay, I can have that.
So, we have no more callers. Do y'all have anything else that y'all would like to add to that, man?
That's about it.
So we want to ask and encourage, like I said, we want to use this platform like a lot of the other platforms to get the word out about what's going on in the community. And we know we are a community built off of word of mouth.
Yep.
Let's not close our mouth now. You know, we was spreading words about, man, you heard that new park out? You know, that new this out? You know, ain't no chicken like the chicken spot on the corner.
Right.
You know, they got a new liquor store down the street. We passed that word. Let's pass this one.
Right, like the word of Will Smith is viral right now, even heavy amongst the Hebrew community.
Yeah, we can spread the word about a black man smacking another man.
Right.
We tell about another man baptizing or healing another man or helping another man change his life. That gets no rotation.
No airplay. Man.
Hey man, preaching is word of mouth, man.
And like I said, it was
preaching is word of mouth. That's how we got it out.
Exactly. It was plenty of precepts I could have went to, but I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do the whole sermon. But man, we know what we need to do. And I'm gonna state it again. Yeshua said in Luke, the kingdom don't come by observation. If you think you're gonna sit back, fold your hands, and get in, it's not happening.
Right.
At least use your thumbs. At least. Share, buddy. We should be seeing a whole lot of shares and likes and getting this word out throughout the four corners. Because people are getting it.
You gotta help bring it.
So
when we do, then the president, the king, you're like, okay, they're ready.
So what we gonna do? And I'm gonna work real hard on it real soon, and y'all pray on it. And if y'all got a brick to help TBT to push this thing throughout the four corners as well, man, I want to put together a support group, helping getting the word out with TBT Radio and making this thing go more viral than what we could ever see or ever even imagine, to get us to come together to build our bricks together instead of you build your house over there, we build our house over here. We need to build this thing together.
Man, you see, you got precepts falling all the way out the sky. But because it's first established in the spirit. So one of the main things we can ask y'all for is prayer. Let's pray for each other, whatever it may be. I'm pretty sure we all do that. Let's keep each other in fervent prayer. He said pray without ceasing for each other's household first. But also, man, whatever endeavor it is that's for the establishment of the kingdom, pray on it. Because we know that the adversary is going about as a roaring lion, seeking how he can devour what our hands are put into. What we're putting our hands to, Salaki. Right? So, if it's nothing else, man, hey, appreciate those that stuck around and, gave your input, those in the chat. Shalom to all you all, man. It's just a blessing to be before you all. Another day to get it right, but we got to build. I know Elder was saying, Biden's his slogan was a build back better. It's time to build the kingdom back better. Yeah, and this is how we start. Let's get it, family.
All right, God. So if you ain't already did it, like, comment, subscribe. And make sure you tell somebody that TBT Radio just went live. And we're going to see y'all next week. And we're going to ride this thing out with some of that Don Yasharala.
Yeah. We're going to pray on it. We're going to stay on it.
Shalom.
Chicago.
Rise. Time to rise up, family.
Dust it off, pick your crown up, dust it off, sis. Pick your crown up, dust it off, now pick your crown up and recite this. Come on, rise as real, yeah. Rise as real, yeah. Rise as real, yeah. Rise as real, come on, rise as real, yeah. Rise as real, yeah. Rise as real, yeah. Rise as real, come on. Kwam Yasharala, all praise to a higher. Kwam Yasharala, all praise to a higher. Kwam Yasharala, all praise to a higher. All praise to a higher. All praise to a higher. Valley of the dry bones, Kwam Yasharala. My nation on the wake up. All praise the Father, reconnected from the breakup. Messiah to this place up. We gon' follow suit. The remnant of the Jacob. The nation indivisible, the righteous individual. Sifting through the rabbits of my people for residuals. I'm 10 toes down. Ain't no room for the fakers. Saving souls through the water is the reason why they hate us. Super bruised, got the capes on. Wonder what they face on. You ain't talking baptism, go the other way. Man, I'm in the deep zone, thinking about the kingdom. Lead them, cast the the shadow boxing, ain't no one to swing on. They still be talking flat earth, still denying Christ's birth, till it gets real in the back of that black earth. Pull up with that axe verse, get your mind right. Against that water, bring that truth out. Gremlin stripes. Come on. Pick your crown up, dust it off, Pick your crown up, dust it off, sis. Pick your crown up, dust it off, Now pick your crown up, then recite this. Come on. Rise as real, 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 rise as real. Come on. Kwam Yasharala, all praise to a higher. Kwam Yasharala, all praise to a higher. Kwam Yasharala, all praise to a higher, all praise to a higher, all praise to a higher. Yeshaya's on his way back, you ain't get to notice. And Satan got it cracking here, and you ain't even noticed.